Thank you. Before I start, I wanted to read a couple of messages that were sent just a little while ago to me via Facebook, if I could. Hugh says, I wish we could see public transit as an expression of the civilization and grace of a community, not just a network of utilitarian human cattle cars. And Linda, decently paid workers are able to invest money in their families and their communities. We can't buy into a race to the bottom. If low wages were the key to economic success, the third world would be booming. It is, yeah. Okay, so I have the motions. I have the motions up, please. I wanted to thank the chair for her hard work on this, and TTC's general manager and staff. I know that this is a pressure-filled time, and I like some of the amendments that are being put forward today. It makes me feel a lot more comfortable about supporting some of the things that are before us. But I think that the overview has some omissions and some information that would be very necessary before we make final decisions. So I support, staving this off for a future date. First of all, we need to consider the extra cost that the essential service designation would bring to our operating budget. Secondly, the cost of abandoning Transit City, which we learned earlier this week through the media, we're still on the hook for, to the tune of about $50 million, but my sources say likely upwards of that. Thirdly, the fact that important developments at the province may completely change the context in which we have these discussions a few weeks from now. So, first off, abandoning Transit City was the transit equivalent of putting a Ferris wheel on the waterfront. Transit City was a long-term transit vision that served the necessary transit needs of Torontonians and GTA residents well into the future. It was well-planned, fully funded, on order, shovels in the ground, and like the waterfront decision, the decision to abandon it was made unilaterally in preference for backroom decision-making involving private consultants, imaginary private money, for an unproven subway scheme that no one, and certainly not the commissioners or councillors, asked for. Now we learn that the TTC is on the hook for sunk costs of abandoning that plan, which technically is still on the table. So it's not too late, folks. Those unrealized sunk costs trouble me, because if they suddenly get attached to a bottom line somewhere, it will mean a bigger fare hike, degraded service, more canceled bus routes, and you remember what we went through just a few short months ago with respect to canceling very needed service in our community. Don't forget the roller girls. I don't think we should be making any decision until the status of this elephant in the room is identified. Second, members of the Commission 9 months ago voted to make the TTC an essential service via a walk-in motion introduced with no public warning. Still, members of this Commission voted for ignoring the budgetary implications. Your essential service baby is on its way, and you don't even say that you're pregnant yet. You don't even realize it. If arbitration is triggered and a contract is awarded anywhere close to the one the police service received, we will also be in a very, very different budgetary context, and the numbers, as well as the service cuts, will be different. We don't have the proper information before us on that stage to make a fully informed decision. Third, the provincial election. It's only a few days away. We had the mayor talk to the leaders of the three parties. What was discussed? I'd be interested to know what they had to say about public transit. Who has the best vision for public transit? So my motions, which are up, reflect some of these very, very important considerations. I think that if we make a decision today, we would be letting the provincial parties off the hook. Post-election, they could just say, Toronto's already made their decisions about transit, and let's move on. I'd like to take a more proactive stand. So because of that, I support Commissioner's view to defer our budget considerations until after the election. And when it comes back, one of my motions you'll see is that a third budget besides operating and capital, which are our traditional budget items, be brought before us. And this third budget would detail the unresolved costs projections related to Transit City, to the essential service designation. What does it actually mean for service delivery in the best and worst case scenarios, budget-wise, if they came to fruition? I know that millions of dollars have been spent in the past and to items similar to the sunk costs of canceling Transit City. And I refer to former Premier Mike Harris's filling in the Eglinton hole. Like, how many millions of dollars will it take before people wake up to the conservative reality in the city and what they do to transit? And who actually said that there has to be a 10% cut across the board? And we have people in our communities just balkanizing one another and cannibalizing one another. We have frail seniors in the homes for the aged pitted against childcare. When did that? Yes. Okay. So in ending, I just say, who says? It wasn't us. It wasn't council. Council did not make this decision, and council did not make this 10% cut. So what master are we serving if we're not serving the public? We have to be here to service and to serve Torontonians. Thank you.
Thank you.
For your indulgence.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.